Welcome back to our series on home selling and how to get your home sold. This is step 6 in our series, and we've gone from step 1, which was our initial consultation, all the way through, and now we're live on the market, and guess what? We've got offers. So we're going to get ready to negotiate your best possible outcome. Well, how in the world are you going to take all of these different offers, by the way, they're about 20 pages apiece, and know which one of those makes the most sense for you and your family? Well, that's what we're here to do. So we're here to share with you, what do these offers mean? What was the price that was offered? How is the buyer going to be paying for the property? What are the terms that they've offered you, and how does that fit into your schedule and your goals? All of those things matter. The highest priced offer, sometimes, believe it or not, is not the best offer. Sometimes the terms will outweigh that initial price. So it's our job to know what your net number is that you've got to have to walk away with. We had that conversation way back in steps 1 and 2, and now we're going to put that information to use. So as we get the offers in and we look at what the offering price is on the paper, then we look at what are the terms that the buyer is offering to you. Do they want any concessions? Are they asking for the seller to pay their closing costs? Are they asking for the seller to provide them a home warranty? Do they have a house to sell and that sale is contingent upon them purchasing this one? Do they want a 45-day close? Can they do a 3-week close? Oh my goodness, can you even get out of your house in 3 weeks? All of these things matter, and they all go together to work into one cohesive offer that makes the most sense for you. Once we decide of all of these which one is the best for you and your family, then we're going to go back to negotiating. So it's my job to negotiate your best outcome. Maybe we're just a few $1,000s off from what you really want on this offer. So we're going to go back and I'm going to use my strengths to go to this other agent to get you your best deal. Obviously, we want to make sure it's fair for everybody, but we need to negotiate on your behalf. Remember, our agency represents you in this transaction. So after we've looked through all those and we've decided, yeah, we really think this is the one, we've negotiated it through, and we've gotten you to that net number that you need, now we're ready to move on past the contract. And there's some steps that come involved with this afterwards that all go along with the contract. So typically the buyer has 10 business days to perform their inspection and relay back to you what repairs they want you to make. All of this goes into the negotiation process. For instance, if a buyer has a house that they need to sell, meaning that their offer is contingent, still may have won, their offer is contingent, we want to make sure that their inspection period begins on the day that the offer was actually fully executed. That's the day everyone signed. So we want to start our countdown with them. So you need to be prepared, because just because you've signed this contract doesn't mean we're to the closing table yet. We've got to have an inspection. You need to, again, present your house in its very best light. Remember all those little things that we did back in the earlier steps? We fixed the running faucet. We took care of some lighting issues that were in another room. We made all those small repairs. Maybe you even had your home pre-inspected, so we know what to expect when we get to this point. We're ready to make those repairs and or credit the buyer back for what they might cost to do after the fact. So let's talk about exactly what those options could be within your contract. It could be that the buyer wants to have their inspection and they want you to make a list of repairs. It could be the buyer wants to have an inspection and they would like some money escrowed or held at the title company to make those repairs after closing. It could be that the buyer doesn't want any repairs, even though there are some that are necessary to be made. They just want a credit towards the purchase price or maybe even to their closing costs. So there are a lot of different options here. And again, we've got to make sure that the one that we choose is the one that's the best outcome for you. If you don't have the capital to go make these repairs, then it's my job to negotiate on your behalf to get the money held in escrow out of your proceeds to be done after the fact. We've got a lot of moving parts here as we move through each one of these contracts. Again, they're almost 20 pages each, so there's a lot of language in there that we need to review. So how does this all happen? Well, we're going to get the offer. We're going to give you a call, and we're going to say, we've got to have time for us to sit down and review it. We're going to go through paragraph by paragraph by paragraph by paragraph to explain what each one of those means to you and how it could be either a positive or a negative in terms of your net sheet. Once we've discussed all of that, then we'll show you, based on offer number 1, this is the money you can expect to walk away with. Based on offer number 2, 3, etc. We'll do that for all of them, so that you have time to make an informed decision. That's what's really important. Now, do you get 3 days to think about this? Typically not. We're in a tight market space here, and you might get 24 hours. It's probably the longest you're going to get. It's very commonplace here for us to see a 12-hour turn time. So it's important that when we reach out to you to say we have an offer, that we get an appointment time scheduled with you sooner rather than later. We need to discuss what your options are so that we can negotiate on your behalf. All right, guys, this was step 6 in our process. We've gotten your house live on the market and we've gotten offers. We've negotiated your very best outcome. What's next? Well, it must be headed to the closing table.